Hello, this is the Renegade Gamer. So, I just got done watching The Batman with Robert Pattinson. Where do I start? Interestingly, this movie is kind of a mixture of parts of a lot of other older Batman movies or Batman stories. We have some Long Halloween in here. Catwoman from Rome, if I remember right. Those are the comics. Interestingly, the Telltale Batman, the first one. There's some parts of that in here. Let's see. We have kind of Seven from the movie Seven in here. There's just a mixture of a lot of movies here. Now, that's not saying anything bad about it, because they did everything in the movie, for the most part, is done really well. However, well, there isn't really however. So we got basically a detective story this time instead of a origin story or goofy comedy or a ninja Batman, basically from the Dark Knight films, or Christopher Nolan films, if you would. He wasn't an insane psychopath, like he was in Batman vs Superman or Justice League and all that mess. No, what we got this time is straight up a detective story, and it's a very grounded detective story. I'm not really going to go into spoilers here. I'm just going to kind of give you a general overview. It's a very grounded detective story. It's pretty logical the way it flows. The story flows pretty logically. It does go into some areas that you're kind of sitting here like, what the hell? They do something new with the Riddler. Basically, he's more like kind of a mixture between Seven and Saw, to be honest with you, a little bit. Jigsaw and John Doe from Seven in a lot of ways. In some ways, I say that. But he's living. See, I don't want to spoil the film. I'm trying to give you a general overview. He's going after certain people and leaving riddles behind, killing them and leaving riddles behind. And Batman's getting the riddles, and there's a much bigger mystery that's in the background. Sorry, hang on. Unfortunately, I do not recall what the actress's name is. I know it's Zoe. I'm sorry. I don't know a lot of the new actors these days. I know her name's Zoe something or another. It's Zoe. It isn't Zoe Catana, I don't think. Or Zoe Sitzel or whatever. But she does a very good job with the Catwoman. I have seen Black Catwoman before. She's fine at it. She does a real good job as Selena Kyle. Colin Farrell was really good as Penguin. Andy Serkis was great as Alfred. I kind of wish I would have got more of him, but for what he's in this movie, he's fine. Unfortunately, I do not know the guy's name that played the Riddler. He also did a pretty good job. And I'm not, like I said, I don't know a lot of these actors, unfortunately. I know the guy that played, I've seen the guy that played Jim Gordon. He did a pretty good job. This basically, in a lot of ways, felt like Batman and Jim Gordon constantly investigating everything. Kind of like Batman says Sherlock Holmes in some ways, and Jim Gordon's Watson in some ways. Or if you want another reference, all right, this is kind of a duo. They gave Jim quite a bit. They gave James Gordon quite a bit here to work with. It's always playing off Batman. Robert Pattinson's Batman. Now, I'm one of those guys that didn't have an issue with them casting him. Basically, I'm like, it's the same thing with Heath Ledger. When they cast Heath Ledger, I was kind of like, really? The guy from 10 Things I Hate About You? Those movies? I mean, he's a good actor. Okay, I guess we'll see what he does. And Robert Pattinson the same way. Yes, I know he did the Twilight films, but he's been in a lot of other things since then. And he's a good actor. And I was sitting there, I was like, I could see it. We'll see. And yeah, I mean, I think he does a pretty good job as Batman. We don't see Bruce Wayne in this movie. It's pretty much Batman, even when he's out of costume. He's just Batman. But it's fine because this takes place about 2 years into his crusade, I guess, what you could call it. And he definitely is a little bit rough around the corners in a lot of ways. But yeah, this Batman, he's a lot more soft-spoken. He doesn't say as much. Is brutal when he needs to be. And he's all about vengeance, which is kind of the theme of this film. But his character arc through the film is really done well. I mean, he starts off basically as this very recluse person, and by the end of the film, he has a lot. He's very much a different person by the end of the film in a lot of ways. The action in the movie I thought was done pretty well. There were some scenes that were blinding because they would shine a light straight into the camera, and just it was like car lights or motorcycle lights, and I think it was even a flashlight at one point. It didn't happen real often, but every time it did, I was kind of like, God, because it just blind the hell out of you. Music-wise, it was all right. I know I've heard people say that this has the best score. I'm not sure about that. It was okay. There was definitely a motif that was playing whenever Batman would come around. It was constantly like these 4 notes off the piano, the very deep side of the piano. Catwoman had a one that sounded kind of like a cat anytime she was around. They did well with them. The bat suit itself, it looked fine. I actually liked the new design for the Batmobile. I thought that was pretty cool. And its introduction into the movie is pretty fucking awesome, actually. There was a really cool chase scene in the film. So we get to the main plot. We get to the ending. The ending is not out of nowhere. I've heard people complain that the ending's not out of nowhere. It's not. They did set up some stuff here prior. I'm not going to spoil it, but it definitely does take some inspirations from a few other comic books. And unfortunately, if I mention these, you're going to know what the ending is. So I'm going to have to kind of not mention them, unfortunately. But overall, I thought the ending was done pretty well. It really does show that Batman is in a different area or a different space of mind by this point. Overall, I thought it was a good movie. I do recommend it. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes. 2 hours 40, 2 hours 50 minutes. It is a bit long, but they do a lot of setups. There's a lot of time taken into the investigations. And it's pretty good. I don't know if I'd list it as my favorite. It's not my favorite Batman movie, I can tell you that. But, it was one I enjoyed, and I would like to see again. If I get a chance. Probably won't, because I'm not here to road. But anyway. But yeah, definitely a good movie. Would recommend. So, if you're interested, I'd say go give it a watch. There's 2 lines, and there's one line in this film I know some people are going to get pissed off about. It's the white privileged man line. She's basically just talking about the wealthy people in the film. And then there's an incel thing, but whatever. Anyway, I'm Ready to Get Gamer. Y'all take it easy. I'll catch you next time.